Sons of Japheth. Who is Japheth?
Noah's son.
How many sons did he have?
3.
All right, and we know what they try to say about that, right? That Noah had 3 sons, which represented all races. That's utter ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. We know that God scattered the people and he placed them where he wanted them to go. And why did they get scattered? Because God had already set a way of salvation for them. He had already said, I'm going to bring it through the seed of a woman. He had already set it up. But the Babylonians, that's why they call it Babylon, they felt like that ain't good enough. We're going to build us a tower. And we're going to make it reach up to heaven. Then it said God, they work was so minuscule that it said God had to come down and look at it. Here you trying to build a tower to heaven and God got to come down and look at it. Which means you came up short. Because you can't build your way to heaven. You can't buy your way to heaven. You can't bribe your way to heaven. You can fool us all day long, but if you ain't born again, you're going to hell. And you need to understand that that's not a thing to play with. Because belief is a powerful thing. And you start out with a little bit of belief, that'll get you in, but as you go in God, he going to grow that belief up. He going to show you some things. So we got Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. So this the table of the nations is what they call it. Because all of these boys, they became nations. Right? So it says, and it jumps over. Now the reason why it's jumping is just because the Bible was not following everybody. That's where people get it mixed up at. In scripture, he's just following the righteous seed. He's not following, the Bible is not conducive of what was going on with everybody and all peoples. He was specifically concerned about a seed, his righteous seed, because he was creating a family for himself. And so he gives them the generations because he wanted to let them know, now, y'all lived a long time. Watch this in 27, because it jumps to 11:27. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. So he goes into, he calls out the boys. Then he goes into the boys' people. And now he's saying, this is the seed we're getting ready to follow through scripture. It starts with Japheth, Shem, and then it goes in, and Ham, and then it goes from all of them to just following Shem. Because you know Ham got cursed. He represents the cursed nations. And I hate the fact that they try to say that Ham was black. He got cursed to be black because he seen his daddy naked. Now we know that doesn't make any sense at all. Then they try to say he was homosexual. That's why he got cursed. Because not only did he see his daddy naked, but he was leering at him, like staring at him, like, oh, look at that. That don't make any sense at all. First of all, daddy was the one drunk naked. But he's calling these generations out because he wanted them to know, how did the righteous seed get passed down? How did they know what to do in God? Because remember, it started out with them eating from the knowledge of good and evil. That was great-great-great-great-granddaddy, Adam, right? Same seed. Now we're looking at Terah and Noah and all of these guys, same seed. Same righteous seed. So they had the knowledge of good and evil. So now, God, through generations, it has to be passed down through the family. That's how stuff get passed down, through the blood. Now, you're not going to tell me with Adam and Terah and Noah and them living so long that they ain't get a chance to see their grandkids. That they ain't get a chance to talk to their great-great-grandkids. Now, a lot of y'all are grandparents in here. What do you think you're talking to your grandkids about? You don't care nothing about Fortnite, do you? No. You're talking to them about how God has blessed the family. How God going to continue to bless the family. And you're really trying to pay attention to who the one that God really got his hand on. Because it's going to always be one. Now, it could be the whole family. 9 times out of 10, it ain't though. It's always one that God got his hand on. And God ain't going to let that one go. Because he knows everything that grandma and them built their life on is resting on you. And as a great-grandparent or great-grandparent or grandparent, your job is to let those kids know how important they are. Right? We Christians first. But we also, whoever us is, this is how we operate. This is what we do. So when you out in the community, when you out in the world, you don't represent just you. You represent the church you go to. You represent our family. And so you teach them dignity early. It's not about rules and regulations. It's about legacy and about dignity.
Yes, yes.
Because if you got a crazy father and he went to the high school and he caused all kinds of hell in the high school, when you show up and you say, I'm such and such. You who, son? Oh yeah? They start to keep an eye on you. Because they know how your daddy was. And if your daddy was like that and he didn't teach you no better. And you see on the news all this kind of crazy stuff they passing down through families. Where they have little boys, they be 5, 6 years old, smoking weed with the daddy. Showing them how to drink and all of that old kind of stuff. Letting them cuss. Then they get older and start cussing you out. Not something wrong with it. It was cute when he cussed in the living room. Now y'all in the supermarket. Lord have mercy. That's how important generational stuff is. And you got to make sure, even if grandma and granddaddy don't tell you, you find out for yourself. And even if the family is crazy, you can break the generational curse because you don't have to be crazy. Because you know in the Old Testament, the sins of the father got passed down to the kids. Well, in the New Covenant, God says, no, I'm not going to hold you responsible for what your daddy did. I'm not going to hold you responsible for what your granddaddy did. I'm going to hold you responsible for what you do. That's why when I talk about racism and things like that, I'm not a racist. But if you act just like your foreparents did, if you talk like your foreparents did, then I have to assume at the kitchen table, you would talk this. See, I don't have a problem with making America great. I got a problem with the word again. That's why I got, you can say make America great, I'm with you. When you add again on there, I'm trying to figure out when again was. Well, let's go back to the year. What year are you talking about? Because we ain't been out of slavery that long. So we know that's a code word. And they teach code words. I ain't going to get into all that, but they teach code words at the dinner table. See, we as black people, we don't sit down and eat together no more. See, that's how you find out stuff. You find out what's going on in the house. You find out what's going on in the school. Right? And teachers have taught us, if you really want to know what's going on with kids, tell them to draw something.
Right.
Them pictures will show you. They show, they write them pictures. I'm going to get into this, y'all should have learned it in class, but I want to say this. They draw them pictures, and they show it to the teacher. And the teacher say, explain this, little Johnny. Well, this daddy choking mama. This us hiding behind the refrigerator.
That's right.
Next thing you know, you're like, who is it, CBS? Like, who in the world told on me? That picture told on you. Ooh, I got way off. All right. And Terah took Abraham, his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, and his son's son, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran, and they dwelt there. Well, me and Deacon Alex was talking about this earlier. He wasn't going to take nobody. He took the whole crew. Everybody from Port Arthur, took everybody he knew at home. God's going to go back and say, and because when you try to bring people into your blessing, they're going to cause you problems. Because if you blessed and somebody's watching you be blessed too much, they become a stumbling block. Because they start to say, well, I'm just as good as you. I can do what you do until they have to do it. Right? Because the blessing and the gifts of God make stuff look easy. Sure you think you can sing like Sister Johnson till they give you the mic. Or till they cut the music off. I sing good in the shower.
Amen.
But this ain't the shower. This the pulpit. All right, y'all gonna keep it real today, but we gonna keep it all the way real today. So look, and the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Imagine being 205 years old. Now, they living a long time, because you know the curse starts to cut the years down. And God said, eventually, I'm just going to let you live to about 7. But they were living 400, 500, 600 years because they wasn't created to ever die.
That's right.
Death came because of Adam's choice.
Yeah.
God's whole purpose was never for us to die. That's why it's not a big deal for us to live forever in God's eyes, because that was the purpose.
Yeah.
So now you mean to tell me if great-granddaddy 200 years old, he didn't have a chance to talk to Noah?
Come on now.
He didn't have a chance to talk to his grandson and pass this righteousness down and saying this is what God requires and this is what God doesn't require. Now, God's getting ready to make a separation because we go to 12. And 12 is a big chapter because 12 is the called out among the called out. We call the called out among the called out ecclesia. Ecclesia is a fancy Greek word for church. You are called out of the world. And then God calls people out of the called out. That's what he's doing with Abraham. He already done chose this line, this seed, as the righteous line, as his family. But now he's going to call Abraham out of them. Look what it says in 12:1. Now, love that. The Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land I will show thee. Now y'all heard this preached a whole lot of ways. But this is God separating Abram from his own family. And when you get born again, and you in a family, especially an idol or pagan type of family, it is going to separate you. Because the scriptures and the life of God, it exposes darkness. And if anything is in the dirt, when you come with that holy talk and all that stuff, it's going to expose it. And Satan gets nervous because he knows he's going to be called out. Even if you don't call it out, even if you trying to fake and perpetrate, your little bit of light is still too bright in a dark room. That's why they don't want you around. Ain't because they don't like you, they don't like what's in you. Because God and Satan can't never coexist on the same playing field. It's never gonna happen. So he calls him out and he says, I need you to get away from your cousins now. I need you to get away from your daddy's house because they idol, they pagan worshipers, and I'm trying to start something different, and I'm gonna start it with you. And that's a heavy burden. Because now he's saying, this stuff I gave to Noah, I separated Noah to do a job. Now I'm calling you to do just like your great-granddad. And it's going to cause you to have to leave folk behind. That don't mean you don't love them no more, but if y'all going two different ways, then 9 times out of 10, if you focus, you're going to leave them alone because you're focused. How can two walk together unless they agree? We supposed to be going over here. If y'all in the same car, who makes the decision? Well, who's driving? Who drives? Right? So that's the same thing God says. You're going to go my way as long as you let me drive. But the minute you try to drive, or the minute you let somebody else drive, we're going to get off track. Why? Because I didn't tell you where the land was. I didn't tell you where you were going. I just told you to start going. Because the things of God are revealed. He said, I'm going to show it to you. But what do? We don't move until God gives us all the details. God don't work like that. He's not going to give you the details all up front because you're going to mess it up. So God says, if you trust me, then just start walking. Same way you tell them young men about jobs. Well, I don't know who hiring. No matter who hiring, just start looking. Get up and get dressed. I don't care where you go. Just start knocking on doors. Start asking folks. And as you going, God start bringing people alongside you. Then you'll run into somebody that'll look you in your eyes and know God sent you there. But if you just sit on the couch waiting on job and knock on the door, who is it? Job. It ain't gonna never happen.
Never have a job.
It ain't gonna never happen. You just gonna be sitting there, right? But quiet, contrary to popular belief, if he's sitting on the couch, he probably don't want to work. See, that's a whole different thing. Because most people that I know that want to work, they find a job. But people that don't want to work, it seems real peculiar how they always can't find a job. Lord, all right, look what he says. He says, and I will make thee a great nation. So watch God doing all the heavy lifting. He said, I'm going to reveal where you're supposed to go. And then I'm going to make you into what you're supposed to be. Abraham don't know nothing about being no nation. He just got through serving idol gods with his daddy now. God said, don't worry about it. If you go, because the going is faith. He said, the fact that you went, I'm going to bless you. Look at how this works in real time. I'm going to hurry up. You don't feel like going to see that person that's sick in the hospital or the nursing home or wherever. And you're like, Lord, I don't feel like doing it. But as you wrestling with that in your mind, you steadily getting dressed. I I don't want to go. But your body and what God is saying is overriding what your mind is saying. Oh, I don't even really like them that much. You still wrestling with it in your mind, but you're still going. And you get on in the car. And you complaining and wrestling with it in your mind. I don't even know why I got so much destruction on this street. I should go back home. Still going. Then when you get there to the hospital, not only are you blessing them, but God might have some other folk in there. People you ain't seen in a while. Somebody that said, girl, I've been looking for you. Here you go. I want to put this in your hand. And you know, all that kind of stuff. Lord, I ain't got enough to pay my light bill. I got half of it. God say, just go on and talk to them about it. Just go on and see what they say. And next thing you know, you get somebody on the phone you went to school with, girl, you want that? She's like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. That's faith.
Yes.
You didn't know how God was going to open the door. Y'all know we all done had it happen.
Yes.
We done all had it happen.
Yes.
We done all had it happen. I remember God blessed me to be in first class. I was on my way to coach. I think I had the last seat on the plane. I was like, Lord, I'm going to be squashed in between these people. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, but I'm going, Lord. You told me to go to this town and preach, I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't care if I had to buy this little cheap ticket and sit in the back. Next thing I know, they call me. David Pritchett, come to the desk. I say, where the
Praise
go
God.
to jail and look around, you know. I said, okay, Lord, I ain't stolen nothing. I ain't what I'm supposed to do. I went up there, and she said, let me see your ticket. I said, hold on. I paid for this. What do you want to see it for? She say, and she talked just like my mama. She say, boy, give me that ticket. I said, uh-oh. Because now I've been around God long enough.
Yeah.
I know something up now.
Yeah.
And she say, would you mind sitting in first class? Would I mind? Can I sit next to the pilot? And sure enough, sat me in first class. I sat up there. They had dinner. It was a whole different flight.
Yeah.
So much so that when I got back home, I had to go back to coach. I didn't feel right. I told my wife, I said, this ain't gonna work. I can't go back. We ain't been on a flight since. You know how much first class costs? Let me hurry up and get through this. All right, it says, watch this now. He said, I'm gonna make you a great nation. I'm gonna bless you. I will make your name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. So he said, I'm going to turn you into a nation, and I'm going to bless you, because I'm trying to show folk what serving God can do for them.
Yes.
Folk ain't going to follow you if you ain't blessed.
That's right.
So I'm going to make you blessed so that folk can see the nation.
Yeah.
Well, how you going to bless me? I'm going to make your name great. That's why he went through the genealogy, because it's about the name.
That's right. That's right.
That's why when you go somewhere, you got to make sure you keep your name straight.
Yeah.
Because once your name gets scarred,
That's right.
once your name get a hit on it, folks start judging you by
Yes,
that.
they do.
Oh, that's that old Pritchett boy, huh? I knew his daddy, his granddaddy, wasn't none of them that. That's how stuff get passed down.
Yeah.
God says, I'm going to make your name great. And then watch this. He knew that we couldn't keep our name from being scarred and marred up. So now he gave us a name that's above everything.
Yeah.
Now you ain't got to worry about grandma now, because at the name of Jesus, doors open. At the name of Jesus, folk get out your way. At the name of Jesus, now you are in the family of God, and you got Jesus. And it's the same name that's going to get you saved, that's going to get you blessed. And he says, once I bless you, I need you to be a blessing. That's where we get it messed up at, because we don't want to bless folk. We want folk to stay up under us. As long as they're a little bit under us or same with us, we all right. But if God used you to take them to the next level, sometimes it's hard to do. I've watched it being done. I've had people just sabotage me just because they didn't want me to surpass them. But I've also had people say, I got mine. I'm going to show you how to go a little farther than me. See, that's the kind of room you want to be in. You want to be in a room where people ain't scared to bless you. They ain't scared because they all right with what somebody do. I don't care if you become the mayor or the governor. Let me help you. Not hinder you, right? Hold on, I'm trying to get all the way through it. He says, and I will bless them, because I got to get here. I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse him that curseth thee. And in all these shall all the families of the earth be blessed. He's setting up the way. Now watch this. How will all families of the earth be blessed? By blessing the blessed. See, that's why I do the 106 thing and bring you money. It ain't for us, even though we need it, we like it. But it's for you. Because there's no way you can bless God and he won't bless you back. So my job as a pastor is to open up avenues so that you can get blessed. Now, if you don't trust what I'm saying and believe what I'm saying, then don't do it. But but then you're going to see the separation of people.
Yes.
The reason why folk broke is because they won't give. That's just the principle. It says, give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give unto you. That's what God said. That's God's prescription, not mine. So you broke because you want to be broke. That widow brought 1 penny to the offering. And God said she put more in than all of y'all. Why? Because she brought everything she had. And sometimes you got to give up your little beer money and gambling money. Go and give it to the Lord. You can stretch it out. You shouldn't be drinking that stuff anyway. And your coffee money and all that stuff. Oh, Lord have mercy. But you can't miss this now because this applies to you too. You're going to get blessed for blessing folk. But it's a cursing for cursing people. He didn't separate that. All of y'all are God's people, right? So if I curse you, did that apply to me too? If you curse me, do it apply to you? So we need to be in the blessing folk business. Because the same measure that you meet is the same one that's coming back. See, in the world they call it karma and energy and all that. No, that's God. God said if you want friends, be friendly. If you don't want none, then be cranky and bitter and talk about folk and all that. I guarantee you won't have it. Let me do this. Last one. So it is through the world or through the earth blessing us, the children, the righteous seed of God, that they'll be blessed. That's why they try to bless Israel. That's why, on a national level, if you take care of Israel, then God usually takes care of your nation. That's why it's a scare. That's why the only thing I've seen the president do right is stay friends with Israel. Lord have mercy. I don't know who told him, but he did the right thing with that. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of here. He was a baby. He was 75. Because you see everybody else was 200, 300. When he left, God called him, he was a baby. But look what he did wrong. He went and did what God said. But watch again. And Lot. And Lot went with him. Hold on, go back to 1 though. And the Lord said, get thee. Well, what Lot doing with you? Right? And when they got into the land, they had a problem there. And guess who the problem was with? Lot. Right? So you got to be careful of trying to bring folk with you. If they supposed to go, God will get them there. You don't got to drag folk with you. All I'm saying today, if you're going to continue building and continue working with God, just do what God told you to do. Be where God told you to be. Don't let folk disturb your peace because they ain't dressed and they ain't ready. That's why you go on and go by yourself. Man, one thing I discovered as I close about being married, I learned that this morning. She ain't here yet. Y'all watch my back. You know what the secret, what the key is to staying married? I figured it out. Y'all want to know? Yeah. 2 cars. 2 cars, baby. Because if she ain't ready, and you know what, that don't cause for no argument. I ain't got to be sitting on the couch waiting on you. If you ain't ready to go, we ain't had too many arguments since we had the 2 cars. Because I just let her go and do her, and I go be what God tell me to be. Because God didn't tell me to be her handler, he told me to be her husband. Now you choose to do whatever you want to do, and that's for all of us. We can't be responsible for the choices that you make. That's right. You can't say it's the white man, the system. No, it's you. That's right. Because if you make better choices and stay with God, God gonna bless you. Yes, amen. All right, I'm done. This is 11:44. 10:44. I'm on Cleveland time. Whatever time it is, don't matter to me. It's Sunday.